Hey guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new map change video. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video. We have a bunch of different map changes that have been added in today's update. I'll be producing 2 of these videos today because there's actually a separate video which I want to do on all the Christmas decorations and on the block itself, which we will talk about in the next video. Now obviously stay tuned for that because it'll be up in a few hours, but in this video we're going to be going over all of the main map changes that I believe for part 1 should be the ones that you guys should be most interested in. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and use my supporter creator code as you can see on screen right now. I'm giving everybody shout outs from the recent few drops who have been using my supporter creator code, and I do that in all of my map change and storyline videos. I apologize if you have not received a shout out yet. I try my best to get through them all, but I do get sent a lot and it is difficult to get every single one in the video because there's only a short period of time that I have them on. Anyway, let's jump straight into this and show you guys the map changes. So the first map change we have is the brand new Christmas trees. Now there are new Christmas decorations over the entire map, which I'll cover more in the video later, but for now the basics of it is there's a brand new tree and a few other decorations all over the map. The height for it is pretty insane. We also have something pretty interesting which not many people will pick up on, and that is the nom sign has officially been removed from the front of the store. I don't know if that's due to kind of just reduce the memory in this area, because maybe it was taking up a lot of memory. As we know, the new creative type mode kind of gives us an idea of how the memory works in Fortnite, so maybe they just removed it for that, or they just took it down for Christmas to give the store maybe a better look. Not too sure where that's gone, but interesting. Also, we have a brand new pizza store here, which is absolutely insane. It's kind of like Tomato Town has returned, but it's a very, very small store. If you guys haven't already checked it out, I have rebuilt the Tomato Town recently. You can even see the Tomato Town sign in the back over here. Someone kind of maybe protesting to bring back the store. If you guys haven't checked it out though, there is a video on my channel where I rebuilt both Der Burger and Tomato Town, so it's pretty interesting. So this is pretty cool. I really like it. It's only really small though. There aren't many tables or chairs at all. There's a few there, so 7 there, and a few outside, another 3 there, so 10. There's only 13 seats really for the people who want to go to this restaurant with no roof stuff at all. Oh, another 2 seats there as well, so 15 seats, so not many at all. This restaurant gets pretty busy, but I guess they haven't got much area to cook stuff either. It doesn't even look like they have an oven. Maybe that's the oven there, so pretty funny. But yeah, there's the new Tomato Town building, or tomato or pizza Pete should I say, and he is trying to get revenge on the Der Burger. So the competition between them two still continues in this Fortnite Battle Royale world. It's absolutely amazing. I've been following these now for the last few months, probably about 2 months, and it's pretty cool. So their storyline is really jumping up and next level, and hopefully we'll see these stores expand all over the map. I personally believe that these two are going to probably start moving again to the other side of the map, which they didn't really explore, more of the south side, because it didn't really go around that side. So hopefully that can be the case with that. Anyway, moving on to a few more map changes for you guys, which have been added in this update. We actually have the Tilted Towers building. Now, for those wondering about Tilted Towers itself, it has been under construction now for a few weeks, and we can probably expect some new kind of features being added into it throughout Christmas. Now there are tons of decorations which have just been added to Tilted as well, which I'll show in the video later on, but let me go over this building and kind of talk about what potentially this building could be. So as you can see, we now have the snow over these vehicles here. If you didn't know already, there's a snow render thing here in Tilted Towers, which I showed off in one of my recent videos on how the Der Burger truck or the Tomato Town truck could potentially be moving around the map, or we could be getting snow covering the entire map. Basically, you can see how half of the vehicle's covered in snow and half of it isn't. When I was in creative mode in this section of the map, I could move these vehicles around and they'd get covered in snow and some wouldn't. So interesting snow texture render there. So hopefully we could see some Der Burger and Tomato Truck moving around. But by the looks of it, we have a new building under construction. We don't exactly know what this is just yet, but it does look like the original building that used to stand here. The original building used to be around this height, and it used to stand right next to this building here, and it was probably a little bit one back to be fair, but it potentially could be a rebuild of that building. It kind of looks like it has a chance of being that building. There's no underground section to it like the previous build, and also there's kind of, I feel like the front maybe not, because it's kind of got like a garage section, but when you're looking at this, you get the idea of what we have so far. It's got the industrial vibe to it. It's got kind of like a garage that potentially will be here, and maybe some sort of flats or office that's inside of here. I guess that's what we have so far for this building. We don't 100% know what it's going to be, and we can't confirm it, but it definitely has got a lot stronger. You can see they've even started putting in some metal sections on the back of it that look like they've got a little bit of stone around them. So the building is definitely under construction for bigger height stuff. Interesting to see that the building has had a whole new level to it really on top. So we're definitely getting somewhere with it. Hopefully we'll get something out of this that's going to be pretty interesting. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it'll probably get destroyed again in season 7 or 8. So interesting that, because they always destroy this building, but it's nice to see it under construction and getting rebuilt again. I'm really excited for it, and hopefully we'll get something good about it. Well, hopefully it'll stay in the game as well. So that's what I'm hoping with that. But that's that whole building there. From what I can assume, I reckon it's going to be the old flats, but we don't know. It could be something brand new or a new design for the flats. We also have a few other things over here. This seems to have moved along this truck a little bit. This truck originally was underneath the bridge. Looks like it's moved along here. It's got some resources on top as well. You could potentially use to climb down without taking any fall damage if you jump. So that's pretty cool. A few cars here that have been laid. Tilted Towers is really getting quite a few movements recently. We've had all sorts of movements of trucks and cars at the start of the season. Originally there used to be a lorry here that used to have a chest in. Now it's a truck. So definitely a lot of stuff in Tilted that's been moving around. We also have this lorry over here, which is pretty cool. I'm so glad that we have all these features that have actually ended up at Tilted. Tilted seems to get a new vibe every single season, and it deserves it because it's one of the top locations in Fortnite. So as we keep moving on, the next big map change for you guys is the new Polar Peak. Now, we are having a render issue with this, so what I'll do is I'll quickly refresh it so it actually fully renders. But before I show it fully off, I just want to show you guys underneath, just for those wondering with the render issue. Potentially, we could see Polar Peak expand further because it does have the structure and texture to do that in this section here, maybe, potentially. You can see that when we go underneath, but there isn't really much underneath here that I can show you guys other than we are glitched underneath Polar Peak because of a render issue. But we'll render that in for you guys because I know a lot of you probably want to see it fully built. Okay, so after trying multiple times to get it to render in, it just doesn't look like it wants to render, but you can imagine how it's going to look. You can obviously go in game and check it out for yourselves. Basically, this is the height of the actual normal build, and you can see we've got all these structures and places in Polar Peak that are on the left hand side and the right hand side. Just standard buildings that have always been here that have been fully revealed. They also have put an iceberg on top where the sword used to spawn, the Infinity Blade, so that kind of just concludes that. We'll probably get it reappearing in a few weeks though. And also the major big tall castle now has a throne room inside of it, which is really cool. So this is probably one of the coolest things in this update, in my opinion. This throne room has to be amazing in my opinion, so I'm glad that they have added that in. It's really nice design and a really nice structure and texture to it, so hopefully that we'll see some sort of storyline content. We also have the upper part here where you can go up the stairs. We have the brand new fireplace there as well, and a bunch of other stuff you can see. We obviously already had some of this stuff, but you got the whole library, which is massive, and there's a lot of rooms that you can spend a lot of time exploring around inside of Polar Peak right here. So much stuff. Like, I've been already dropping here on Playground. I haven't dropped here in the Battle Royale map yet. And there's so much stuff that you can even go to the lower layer where it looks like we've got kind of like a courtyard build. It has to be probably one of the nicest builds in Fortnite Battle Royale that we've seen ever, in my opinion. It's just so nice with this courtyard type of section over here. And eventually we could see it going down even further, because if you go down into here, it looks like we have another staircase leading down to another level. So potentially Polar Peak could extend itself down another layer, which would be really nice. And this is kind of maybe like the, I don't know what you'd class this at. I guess this is where all the Ice Kings sit and kind of discuss stuff maybe. Who knows exactly what it could be, but it's a really nice design, and honestly, it is one of my favorite builds. And even they've got room to build another layer going down here, so it's perfect. Like, it's one of the best Fortnite builds in my opinion. It's got some really nice stuff in it, and not many people would expect it to have this sort of like the Knights of the Round Table type feel to it. So yeah, Polar Peak, congrats on that, Fortnite. It's one of my favorite structures, and I can't wait for them to add these blocks into the creative mode. It will be awesome. But another thing that I've got to show you guys before we end up this video, I've got one final thing in this map change video. We have the brand new candy canes. Now, these have been reappearing over the entire map and probably are my favorite addition to this update today. I obviously like Polar Peak's throne room the best, and there's quite a few good things that I like really, but this candy cane is one of the coolest Christmas editions we've had this update. Really nice structure to it. It's just pretty basic, and you can only get this to render in if your character is in the area. So if you look on the map there, my character is in the render area. It'll only render in if my character is there. So really nice stuff. It's a really cool design. I'm so glad that Fortnite added in something like this. I didn't expect them to, but they ended up doing it. So pretty cool. And one last thing for those wondering, I actually kept this to the end because I don't know, I just completely forgot about it. But this is pretty awesome. This is something that is game changing for Lucky Landing because we have a brand new building finally inside of Lucky Landing. I almost missed that then. It's probably one of the best structures that we've seen being added into Fortnite Battle Royale regarding changes to an old location. It's a little bit like the computer one we had in Paradise Palms, but it's this building right here called the Dumpling. This is really cool. We can see this kind of character with the noodles on top. I think it's really awesome. Nice little structure and build to it. I wish I had that in creative mode because I put it on my block build. And yeah, we have the different structures inside of here. So we'll go over this building for you guys before we end up because it's a really nice structure. And it's probably one of the nicest builds I've seen in Lucky Landing compared to the older builds. Obviously this building is probably one of my favorite ones because of the structure to it, but these ones are a bit basic now, so it's nice to see a revamp in Lucky Landing and see a brand new location. So let's jump inside of here and show you guys exactly what we have. So inside of here we have the standard restaurant where it looks like they cook the noodles, and then obviously this is where you'd order the noodles from. Then as we go up the stairs we have a kind of living area where maybe the people that own the restaurant would live. We even have a gym section for them. Then we have the beds. It kind of looks like they only sleep very close to each other, 4 people in total, and then a bathroom in the back. And then as we go up to the top floor we have a computer suite with kind of like a digital section where maybe they tune into radios and into different stuff on their TV channels and stuff like that. And then we have a little storage area there, and in the attic some more storage. Nothing really major there, but yeah, that's the entire build there for the Dumpling. Absolutely awesome. I'm glad that they've added this in. It has to be one of the great additions we've had to Lucky Landing in a very long time. Obviously they're going to keep Lucky Landing for the new year. I feel like it's going to be a big vibe building for the new year. So yeah, very happy what they've done with Lucky Landing there. I'm really excited to see what this brings to the Fortnite Battle Royale game and see how people play around this building. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite location was if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. And don't forget, I have a new part coming out later on today where we'll go over the brand new block which has been added in, and I will also going over all of the Christmas decorations towards the end of that video, the ones you may have missed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and once again, this is Postboxpat signing out.